Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Alright, just 1 second here. Yes, if you're reading this, this is some bullshit. Alright, first and foremost, call hello Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim Baruch. Once again, double honors about the apostles, great millstone, apostles, bishops, and elders of great millstone. Alright, who deserve double honors. Salutations go out to the occupant out there on the highways and byways, pushing this truth with all sincerity across the 4 corners of the earth. Alright, trying to wake up the remaining. Alright, hopefully let. This is Nama of the DC camp. And this is from Mother Jones. Alright. Police killed his friend and blamed him. He got 65 years in prison. He was 15. Wow. Alright. Young man's name is Lakeith Smith. Alright. It says Smith was 15 years old when he and 4 other black teens broke into an empty house in Millbrook, Alabama to steal an Xbox and other gaming equipment in 2015. The police arrived and an officer shot and killed Smith's 16-year-old friend, Adante Washington. Allegedly, after Washington ran toward the officer with a weapon. Allegedly. Smith sprinted into the woods where he was arrested. Then, in a strange but not uncommon twist, because let's face it, over the decades we have heard of some fucked up shit when it comes to relations between, or you know, just interactions between Jake and the law, so-called. Alright. Then, in a strange but not uncommon twist, the cops blamed him for his friend's death. Nobody, not law enforcement, the prosecutor, or the all-white jury, believed that Smith actually killed Washington. Get a load of this. The police clearly fired the fatal shot. But Smith was found guilty under Alabama's felony murder law, which holds that anyone who participates in certain felonies, such as burglary, can be liable for whatever deaths occur during that crime. I just got this scripture ringing in my ears right now. I got to go to it. It's something that we, you know, an oldie but goodie, but it's direct and to the point. Isaiah 10:1. Woe or destruction unto them that decree unrighteous decree. That's a fucked up unrighteous decree. And that right grievousness which they have prescribed. Let's look up that grievousness. Alright. Strong's H5999. Toil, that is, wearing effort. Hence worry, whether of body or mind. Grievance. Iniquity. Sin upon sin. Mischief. Miserable. Perverseness, sorrow, toil, travail, trouble, wearisome, wickedness. All these apply. And this is all because, let's face it, it's Jake. Alabama. Boy, they're still at it. Nothing's changed. Mississippi. Been in the news lately because they brought back Jim Crow. They told you to your face, yeah? And? Because that's what we're coming. Actually, it never left. They were just great actors. You know, usual hypocrites. Continuing on. The other arrested boys took plea deals and received 17 to 28 years in prison. But Smith, who wanted to present his case to a jury, was tried as an adult and punished. How dare you go to a jury? Why didn't you just cop a plea? This is Alabama after all. Punished with 65 years behind bars. If he served the entire sentence, he wouldn't be free until his 80s. Until his 80s. Look at this in bold. No other country in the world has felony murder laws on the books. Well, we already know that. America is unique. What was that James Bond promotion back? Talking about, what was it, 50 years of Bond? Oh, shit. Exquisitely Evil. Used to have on the buses here in D.C. That's America. That's the Edomite. That's the so-called white man in America. Exquisitely evil. It says after his conviction, Smith went to a maximum security prison with adult men. He was 15, remember. But this week he returned to court hoping for a second chance. For years, all right, we're in the 8th year now. For years, his family and friends and even Washington's parents have argued that Smith was unfairly punished and that he should not spend decades locked up for a police officer's actions. At a resentencing hearing on Tuesday, the same judge who heard Smith's original case considered whether to shorten his term. He needs to come home, Bernice Washington, Washington's mother said before the hearing to Vice News, which published a documentary about the case last year. Smith's new attorney, Leroy Maxwell, argues that the trial and conviction were unjust and that the court should have taken Smith's age into greater consideration. Because you know, if this was an Edomite, so-called white boy, you know, whether he had means or not, it would have been different. But especially if he had means, you know. It says Smith's resentencing hearing has brought renewed attention to felony murder laws, which exist in most states according to the Marshall Project, a criminal justice news outlet that has reported on them extensively. These laws disproportionately penalize young people, women, and black people, and are used frequently in some jurisdictions. In Pennsylvania, for example, almost a quarter of people serving life without parole were convicted on such charges. No other country in the world has felony murder laws on the books. You got to understand the history with, yes, and it goes back to slavery. No matter if you want to hear it or not, fuck you, because this is what our people have gone through and are still going through. All right, so you have to understand with the centuries of slavery, and then supposedly, and we know it was bullshit because I have on paper so-called Abraham Lincoln, which we were told to revere because, you know, Lincoln freed the blacks, you know. No, he did not. Because you have to, even going back to the simple definition of the word emancipate, it does not mean what people have been taught. All right? All it was, what happened was a transfer. You went from being privately owned in the South. And you have to understand that was also a police action. All right? Because, again, all wars are bankers' wars. That one was no different. All right? So we don't want Billy Bob on the same level as, you know, a Rothschild. If you get my man. So that whole thing, which was done to the South, and rightfully so, but did it help us like we were taught? Hell no. Because we are still in bondage here. We have no power, none whatsoever. Alright, so we've been going on this because after that, then you had what came to be known as the prison industrial complex was invented. Because after all, with that trick with the 13th Amendment. After all, we were so used to this free labor, we could treat them any way we want to. So they got that little clause in there in the 13th Amendment. You know, if you're convicted of a crime, then we can treat you like we used to. All right. Oh boy. Anyway, so yeah, we've been dealing with this shit. They just repackage it, you know. Anyway, continuing on, it says some states have reformed their laws, as the Marshall Project's Jamals Lardy recently reported. After California amended its felony murder statute in 2018, hundreds of people had their sentences reduced. Colorado also lessened its maximum punishment for felony murder in 2021 to 48 years in prison, while Illinois reformed its law so that it wouldn't apply when police kill someone. Lawmakers, and this motherfucker, this devil got a lot to answer for. There's, and you stupid ass Christians, always trying to speak up for these devils. You know, you got to go to. Continuing on, it says lawmakers in Minnesota and Maryland are considering reforms too. Kentucky and Hawaii have abolished felony murder. Back in Alabama, Smith's sentence was reduced once before. He originally received 65 years in prison, 30 years for Washington death, and 35 for the burglary and theft. In 2019, a state appeals court shaved 10 years off that total because of a sentencing technicality. Oh, how white of them, according to a Montgomery advertiser, leaving him with 55 years to serve. Oh, wow. I'm sure he was very pleased. On Tuesday, Judge Sibley Reynolds, a Republican, considered whether to shorten Smith's sentence again. The judge held the hearing after District Attorney C.J. Robinson, who originally prosecuted the case, acknowledged that Smith's trial attorney failed to present evidence about Smith's home life and background that might have led to a lesser sentence. Nah, you motherfuckers already knew all this shit. Alright, no, motherfuckers. Anyway, Smith's family hoped Reynolds might allow Smith to go home, considering the years he's already spent behind bars. But Reynolds ultimately disappointed them, sentencing Smith to 30 years. Still a harsher punishment than his friends received in their plea deals. We got a sentence change, but this isn't the sentence we wanted. So he'll be 45 when he gets out. Wow. Lakeith is a victim of a rule, a felony murder rule that disproportionately affects people who look just like him. Maxwell said the family would appeal the ruling and challenge Smith's original conviction. The felony murder rule has got to go, he said. Alright. Smith's parents and Washington's both acknowledged that the teens were guilty of burglary, but they blame the police for killing Washington, and they want authorities to consider whether the officer who fired his weapon acted appropriately. A grand jury previously cleared the officer of wrongdoing, according to the advertiser. We never deemed our boys as being innocent. Alright? But to come in and open fire on some kids, man, that's just crazy. Alright? But that's what they do. It's, you know, with impunity. Why? Because it's in the power of their hands to do so. Alright? As the scripture says, it says, I hate this outcome for y'all, Maxwell, the attorney, said to her and Smith's other supporters at the hearing. We've been fighting for justice for Lakeith, and today doesn't feel like justice. Alright. Yeah, so his, let me see if I can find this word. If I can remember how it's spelled. This devil is big on that. See if I can remember how to spell it. See. Yeah, oops, wrong one. Well, I think that's it. Hold on. Let's see. As soon as it loads here. let's see. Let's see. At least this is how he portrays himself, the quality of being magnanimous. Let's see. Let's see. God dang it. Chivalry, philanthropy. That's a good word. A lot of people don't know what that means. Hold on. Let's see. Generous and forgiving an insult or injury, free from petty resentfulness or vindictiveness. That's the one I was looking for. That's the way he likes to portray himself. All right, he gave him 65 years initially. You shorten it to 55. Oh, I gotta do something. These people just don't know. See, that's what really he's thinking about. All right, but we know he's anything but. All right, let's see if I can remember. Let's see. Let's see. Nah, that's not what I'm looking for. Hold on. Let's see. Where is it? Let's see. Is that 3? Hold on. Take too much time on this. I'm just trying to dang it. I can't think of it now. Let's see. Yeah, this is it. This is Sirach. I knew it was in Sirach. You see, Sirach 14:5 says, "He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good?" All right. He shall not take pleasure in his goods. All right. This devil does not know how to be good, because he was not created to be. He was created to be the wicked, and that's just what he is. All right. Let's see. And he just loves catching, like it says about him not having any mercy towards our young or our elderly. All right. Like I said, when back up in here, it says nobody, not law enforcement, the prosecutor, or the all-way jury, believe that Smith actually killed Washington. But the law, the fucked up law, by the way, was already written. It was already on paper. It was already went into effect. So nobody could speak up against it or anything like that, even if they wanted to. All right, that's an unrighteous decree. And Psalms 94:20, "You frame up the law for mischief." All right, this is all in order to trip Jacob. Our people are the prime target, always have been. All right. I just showed one of my last videos. I highlighted, and there's still more of this coming out about this incident in the Tennessee house, state house. They expelled 2 Jakes yesterday, but it was 3 of them. They let the Edomite woman go, and she's coming out now to say the only difference in all of this, and this is her words, and another colleagues there that Scripps News interviewed. I was watching that before I made that video, but I could not find, because that interview, it went straight to the point, but I can't find it. And she just came on here recently as it aired, and she was like, you know, the only difference is, you know, I'm a white woman, I was talked to, I was mansplained to, but the way they talked to those 2 Jakes was totally different. She said you had one that even talking about bringing lynching back. She's like, what? You know, so this is, again, that hatred that they have for us, it never went anywhere. All right. It's been there on the surface, at the surface, you know. So, yeah, once again, this guy, like I said, this is 8 years ago now, so he's a grown man now. He's 23, according to, you know, Western world standards. All right, he's 23 now. He's got 22 more to go, according to the new sentence. All right. Wow. Some fucked up shit. They put him in the big house at 15 amongst hardened criminals. They didn't give a fuck. Ain't that some shit? No, what do they call it? Juvenile detention or anything like that. Just straight to the big house at 15. Damn. Motherfuckers, bro. And you got some of our people that want mercy for this piece of shit. James 2 and 13, let's get it. I'll close it with that. Alright, James 2, 13. He says, for he shall have judgment without mercy that have showed no mercy, and mercy rejoiceth against judgment. Piece of shit. Alright, I said I was going to close out with that, but I got to go here. So I was wearing that time now, but this devil is being revealed. We were talking about that at camp Wednesday night, 2 Thessalonians 2nd chapter. You know, people seeing him for what he really is. This is Sirach 25 and 7. It says, there be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy. And the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that hath joy of his children, which you cannot have here. You know, this is a good indication of why. 15 years old. Alright, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. So with that, hey, to the next video, shalom.